we're ready to add a mouth onto our Goomba. You can see that this is indented and gives it some 3D effect by pulling that in. In order to do that, we're going to start modeling with our vertex tool. So we go into here to modify, we click on our element here. But what we want to do is we want to start moving these vertexes around and customize this face. So I'm just going to kind of block out, and you don't have to grab your polygons, but I want to show you like which ones we are looking at when we're doing this. So I would be kind of looking at these here. Okay. So there's a couple ways that we can try this. I can just take these themselves and push them in. But you notice that's not really refined. Okay. And then I do have a mouth. If I turn on my NURMS tool here, see what it looks like when we turn on NURMS. It doesn't really do much. Okay, so that's not as refined as we're looking for. Let me turn NURMS off. We don't need that. And I do want edge faces on. It's a start. Okay, now can I move? Let's go back here, and can I move these down and close that gap a little bit? Yeah. Then I can move these up, and it's kind of getting us what we want, but it's just not quite right. So maybe we have a little bit of refining to do. I'm going to undo this. So at any given time when you're modeling, you got to try to figure out what is going to be the best bang for your buck here. Now, if these weren't so big, I could maybe insert a smaller rectangle down, and I could do this by using some Swift loops and adding a few more here and just pushing these back, or I could also extrude and then smooth that over. Let's try this selection here then real quick. If I wanted to go, let's even do this smaller one. We'll do this one. I'll shift and multi-select 4 of those. Actually, let's use my cut tool and let's cut a couple more slices in here. I'm just going to go from here to here, so it's not so big. And I'm going to go on this side from here to here. Okay, now that cut tool is going to want to keep going. I can right click to get out of it, but that lets me kind of add a few more little pieces here. I'm going to deselect that one. I just want one. So grab my polygon, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And now let's slide those in. Okay, so I grab my green arrow, that slid that in. And then, so it's not affecting this higher bar much, and it's not affecting the lower bar much. And we are kind of smoothing that up and down. Now, if I take these and I bring these down, how's that look? It's getting closer, right? But I want to have some rounding effect going on my screen. Let's turn off our edge faces and just see how smooth it's actually getting. Okay. What we're going to have to do to tweak this and kind of get it more refined is eventually we may have to make some smaller boxes here to allow us to make some more refined edits. So I'm going to go back in here with my cut tool. I don't need to have all these cut all the way around. I can just kind of add some cuts in here. Okay. And for now, I'm just going to do vertical cuts. If I do these edge cuts, I'm going to get some weird wrinkles in the face. But this is going to allow me to kind of micro adjust the smile a little bit from here to here. And it all depends on how many segments you have. So if you have a lot of segments to begin with, you may not need to do this. I didn't really go in and adjust all my segments. So that's where I'm leaving off. Now, that's done. Now what I can do is I can grab these lines, maybe even the lines individually. I go up here and I select, and then I can bring some of these whole lines down. I got to get out of my cut tool. I'm done with you. And I'm going to select some lines in here. 1 and 2. I'm going to multi-select 3, 4, 5, because I'm just going to bring these middle ones down. Okay, together a little bit. And it depends. If you want a smile or a frown, that's okay. Maybe I'll bring this point up. Let me grab my vertex, and we're going to click on him to start giving us this frowny face. I can do 1 and multi-select with this one and do both of these at the same time and kind of start curving that upper lip. And I'm going to do the same thing on my bottom. Let's grab these 2 vertexes, multi-select holding down Control, and bring these up. And then this one I'll do individually and bring that up. Okay, let me turn off my edge faces. And so we're starting to get the shape of our mouth and our smile. Okay, you're going to need to kind of tweak this by following the same process. Just keep working at it. If you need more refined corners, break them. Okay, cut them, trim them. We can go in with our cut tool. We can add some cuts like this on the corner here. Let me go down. I'm going to escape out of there, and then maybe I'll bring this shut my cut tool off. So yours is going to be a little bit individualized, but okay. And start moving them around. Let me see. I don't like the way that's going to look there. Maybe, and we'll just move these corners around. So grab the vertex here. If your vertexes are not moving the direction you want, you may need to go from view back to local and slide them around using your points. Now this is kind of glitchy here. That messed up. So I may actually remove this line. Just get rid of this line altogether. Oop. And let's see if I right click on it. I think I can go, instead of delete, where is our, I should be able to attach it and then, no. Remove tool. All right, remove will get rid of it without deleting the whole shit. Okay, this is the line that I guess we may need to cut. So if I go from cut to here, and then back over, maybe that will give us the cuts we need. Okay, and now I can move those around with my vertices. So I'll let you play with that a little bit, start getting the mouth done, and then we'll do the teeth now. So I might come back in a little bit and fix this up a little bit more and work on my teeth, but that's okay. We can always take a pause and do that in a second. I think we're getting close enough for at least the intents of this video. Now my teeth look like these little cones that are coming, and they're coming inside the mouth and kind of pointing up and out. Okay, so we may have to, it doesn't show the back side on this. That's kind of what's wrong about this. We may have to push the mouth back around the teeth. That's why it doesn't pay to keep going on the mouth until we work on it. So let's find our, let's see, we don't want pyramid. We'll do a cone. Okay, we want to turn on auto grid. And we are going to form our cone starting on this plane down here on the corner of his mouth. Him, her, it. We're just going to draw our plane. I probably should be in 4 mode. And my radiuses are backwards. So I need to actually, hold on. Let me flip this and I need to start in the middle and then go out. Usually my cone goes the other way. Okay, that's fine. We can go down and just pull it up. If yours is going the right way, it's okay. I'm just gonna click down here. It doesn't even wanna lock in. Let me just change my height here. Oh, okay. We won't worry about 1, 2, and then we can bring that in like that. All right, there's 1. Now we can move them around on our scene. Let's move it out, over. Ooh. Get a better view. Make sure that we're actually kind of attaching it to the mouth. Down, in, over. Looks like there. I'm going to rotate, bring it around. We'll get it set up, and then we can always mirror image it so we don't have to do 2 of them. And I'm going to bring it in a little bit. Okay. I can modify it and make my base a little bit bigger. So I'm going to try 3/4 of an inch there, maybe a full inch. And let's do 1. Smoothing is on, but I'm going to round this off. What happens? What does it, if we turn that into a poly, editable poly, we'll be able to use our NURM tool on it and try that. Okay, convert to editable poly and see what happens with NURMS on it. And that just rounds the tooth over. That's pretty close to what I'm looking for. If I need to make the height a little bit bigger, I can do that. I can't do it under editable poly now because but I can do it with my scale tool. So I'll just scale it up a little bit and let's see, check our view here for size. I think we are still good. And it seems to be kind of buried in the mouth. All right. That size looks fine to me. Maybe I will rotate in a little bit. Okay. Bring it in. And should we recolor it? I guess so. Doesn't look like they usually have blue teeth. I'll just make it white here and there. So that's okay here. May want to tip it. Make yours how you want. I would like yours to be a little different than mine. I'm going to use my mirror tool and we have a copy. It's on our X, but now this is what we didn't have to do with the eyebrow before. We're going to offset it. I can slide this over until it looks like it's in the right spot. Okay. Looks like this one's past the eye here. This is going to be kind of in the dimple over here, somewhere over here. And I may have to move it around and adjust it a little bit, but this will get you in the ballpark area. Click on OK, and then you can individually move and rotate and get this one how you want as well. So we have our Goomba set up. Okay. Next thing you need to do to fix yours up is to add some feet. If you don't need to watch the next video and you can do it independently, perfect. Go for it. Get yours set up and get some feet on there. If you want a little help with that, come back and we'll do that in part 5. Thanks for joining me, and we'll see you in the next one.